Good morning, guys. So today is Wednesday, September 16th. And so in social studies, what we're going to be doing is we're going to continue learning about W.E.B. DuBois. Remember him? So what did he do? Harlow? You remember? Go ahead and look at our board. What did he find? So our board has innovator, and right underneath W.E.B. Du Bois, he did something. What did he find? He helped people somehow. How did he help them, Clinton? He was co-founder of, do you remember? You just know what he just helped people. So what he did was he's the co-founder of the NAACP, which is the National Association of Advanced of Colored People, which means back in the 1960s, during where Martin Luther King was a leader, remember, he was really good. So it helped the African American community so they can be treated equally and fairly, right? So it's like Rosa Parks, she stood up and said, hey, we should all be treated equally. We should not be able to separate ourselves from others. That's not fair. So that's what also W.E.B. Du Bois was known for, and he was the co-founder of the NAACP. So that is a very good organization that helped keep people safe and be treated equally and fairly. So we're going to continue with W.E.B. Du Bois. So we're going to take a look at our seesaw. So if you look at the screen right in front of you, you're going to go to your activities. And so right here, we have, it's Wednesday, September 16th, and we have his name. So if you click on add response, I'm going to be like a sample student. So you have the writing activity right here, but we're going to read it together, okay? So I'm going to blow it up, and then we're going to listen to the story. So it's the same information that we have learned about Dr. W.E.B. Du Bois. Do what? Yes, it's on recording, so that way you can listen to it too, okay?
Oh, I thought it was like you don't have to read it in the script, just read it by yourself.
Oh, well, you're going to be able to read it by yourself because you're going to answer some questions at the end. So we're going to read it together, though, just so that you can refresh your brain a little bit, okay? So W.E.B. Du Bois. So his real name is William Edward Bergenhardt. So Du Bois, or better known as W.E.B. Du Bois, to make it easier for everybody. He was an author and a teacher who taught for rights of African Americans. Du Bois was born on February 23rd, 1868 in Massachusetts. So he was raised by his mother in a city of 5,000 white people and no more than 50 African Americans. Oh, thank you. Is that mine too? Okay, thank you. All right, so it says here, being African American himself, he was raised in a place where he attended school with white children freely. So he was known as a bright teenager, and he surpassed many of his peers in class. So that means he was very smart. He was smarter than his actual classmates in school. So it says Du Bois was the first African American who graduated from school. At 15 years of age, he enrolled at Fisk College. Normally, 15-year-olds are still in high school. But he graduated high school early and went to college at 15 years old. He was very, very smart.
Was he really smart? I was smarter than the teacher?
Yeah, I would think so.
Was he the teacher?
He became a teacher, remember? So he wanted to go to Harvard University, but he did not have money to pay for his studies. In college, he confronted discrimination against African Americans for the first time. This is when he decided to fight against it. Du Bois wrote many books that demonstrated or taught the unjust attitude against African Americans. So after he received a degree from Fisk College, Du Bois entered Harvard University and he studied more years. He was fighting to reach equality or fairness for African Americans when he was a part of the organization named NAACP. Remember, we just talked about that. It helped people to treat other people fairly, especially African Americans. So this organization would fight for equal rights for people. Du Bois is remembered mainly for being the first African American who received a doctorate degree, or a PhD, remember we wrote it, from Harvard University, and for his work to reach equality for all people. So he was a very important person to everyone to be treated fairly, right? So here are your 5 questions. Remember, do not forget this one because I've seen a lot of people turn in and I have to count it wrong. So if you miss 1, you still get an 80. If you miss 2, that's a 60 already. So you got to make sure you do all your questions so that way you can get to reach to 100. So you can try to make a goal of getting a 100 on this paper. So I'm going to read you the questions and the yeah, if you get one wrong, you get an 80. That's still really good.
What about 90?
There's not a 90 because there's only 5 questions. That's a good question. So right here it says, 1, what was the passage mainly about? Ooh, who was this about? W.E.B. Du Bois. And you're right, because you know what? Your title tells you that answer right off bat. Who is it about? And the picture also tells you who it's about. So it says, why is W.E.B. Du Bois remembered? Why is he remembered? A, he was the first person to write a book.
No.
B, because he was an African American. It sounds right, though, right?
Yeah.
So maybe that's the tricky answer. So let's see. C, he was the first African American to receive a doctorate from Harvard University.
What's a Harvard University?
That's a very high prestigious, a very special college. Or D, because he went to college.
No.
So which one would it be?
It's easy. That's easy. Don't say it.
Don't say it. You got to think about it. So number 3, why did Du Bois not go to Harvard University at 15 years? Or why did Du Bois not go to Harvard University at 15 years of age? So he went to a different college, remember, at first. Was it A, because he did not have he did not like the university? B, because he did not have money? C, because he wanted to go to Fisk College? Or D, because he wanted to be an author? So now you have to look for the answer at why he couldn't go to Harvard University. Yes. So why did he not go? So this is the answer right here, not. So not. So it says here, number 4, what did, oh, give me just a second, guys. Let me pause this for. Okay, so we're back. So what we're going to be doing is number 4. So number 4 says, oops, hold on. Yep. Number 4 says, what happened after Du Bois graduated from Fisk College? So it says here, A, he entered Harvard University. B, he got married. C, he went to work at a store. Or D, he wrote poetry. So you'll have to go back into the story and see what he did after he went to the first college. All right, so this last one, number 5. So are we listening? Number 5 is important too. Who's another person that also wanted equality for African Americans? Oh, if you know that answer, you need to write that person's name down. And the way you can look up some of these people are on Epic. You can type his name, or you can use a microphone to type the person's name. So it says, who is another person that also wanted equality or fairness for African Americans? We talked about we talked about 2 important people already. So you know those people. So you can go ahead and go into Seesaw and start your activity, guys. Okay? Well, 1 second, Bella. Mrs. Fullington's recording.